Macmillan Audio presents Hallowed Ground, written by Linda Castillo, read for you by Kathleen Mcinerney. Eddie Chup slashed the vine with his harvest knife and rolled the pumpkin from beneath its canopy. It was another beauty, big, bright, orange, and heavy as a rock. Slash, roll, repeat. He'd been at it since dawn and reaped 62 prize winners so far. God had blessed him with a perfect fall day, a sharp knife, and a strong back to see him through. He'd hoped to finish before dark, but from the looks of the clouds roiling to the northwest, the storm wasn't going to wait. Slash, roll, repeat. Eddie couldn't complain. It was a good crop this year. The pumpkins down by the creek were the size of buggy wheels and would likely weigh in at 200 pounds. If he could get today's harvest loaded in the wagon, he might be able to finish tomorrow and haul everything to the pumpkin festival, which started this weekend. He'd just cut another stem when a sharp bark from his dog interrupted his musings. Straightening, Eddie looked out across the field to see the lumbering Great Pyrenees digging frantically, dirt flying. The silly beast made for such a funny picture. Eddie laughed outright. The dog knew better than to dig in the field, but then Honey Bear had always had a mind of his own. "Stoba!" he called out to the dog. "Stop!" Eddie didn't expect the animal to obey, and, of course, he didn't. Grumbling, he slid the knife into the sheath at his belt and started that way. He could use a break anyway. Maybe sit for a spell and have a cup of coffee his wife had put in the thermos. 10 yards away, the dog tore into the ground with the fervor of a motorized tiller tine. Watching, Eddie shook his head. The animal was fat as a summer sow and a lot better at eating table scraps than he was at protecting the baby goats. Eddie adored him, nonetheless. He'd never admit it, but he enjoyed Honey Bear's company more than he did some people's. It wasn't until he reached the dog that he realized the big boy had something in his mouth. "Was de schöne du Deich have dat, fat boo? What in the world do you have there, fat boy?" The dog looked up at him, tail wagging. Puzzled, Eddie slid the object from the animal's mouth and looked down at it. It was an old bone, yellow and covered with dirt. A jawbone, if he wasn't mistaken. Judging by the shape and size, a sheep's, maybe. Several of the teeth were still intact. He was about to toss the thing aside when he noticed the spark of silver in one of the molars. A chill crept up his spine, and he felt the tingle of it all the way down to his toes. Eddie didn't believe in ghosts, but when he looked toward the trees, he half expected to see some shadowy figure emerge. "Mein Gott," he whispered. "Mensch. My God. Human." A rumble of thunder vibrated the ground beneath his feet. The bone slipped from his hand. He stumbled back. Turning, the Amish man launched himself into a run, the frightened dog hot on his heels. Some days are custom-made for small towns. I'm sitting at a bistro table on the sidewalk outside Mocha Joe's coffee house on Main Street. The pumpkin spice dark roast is good. The breeze is humid and warm. Traffic flows easily along Main Street, where the merchants have decorated their storefronts with harvest wreaths, wicker baskets filled with gourds, and jack-o'-lanterns, all of it in anticipation of the Pumpkin Festival parade. My name is Kate Burkholder, and I'm the police chief of Painter's Mill, a little gem of a town nestled in the heart of Ohio's Amish country. It's afternoon, and I'm on my lunch break. I've been on duty since 7 a.m., and I've yet to take a single call. Across from me, my significant other, John Tomasetti, sips a double espresso and watches the bank manager across the street arrange pumpkins and pots of mums atop a bale of straw. "You're pretty calm for a woman who's getting married in a few weeks." A familiar flutter that's part excitement, part terror, quivers in my gut. In case you're wondering, I'm also a decent poker player. I've no
Sample complete. Ready to continue?